walk with me. And as we wander down the crowded street, even if we're shuffling our feet, you make me never want to miss a beat. We're meant to be. And if you lie with me under the sycamore tree, whether we're high or low, there's nowhere else I wanna go. Hold my hand, fall in love with footprints in the sand, and kiss each other while we watch the band. And everyone who knows us understands we're meant to be. And if you lie with me under the sycamore tree, whether we're high or low, there's nowhere else I wanna go. So walk with me as we wander down the crowded street. Even if we're shuffling our feet, you make me never wanna miss a beat, never miss a beat. And if you lie with me under the sycamore tree, whether we're high or low, nowhere else I wanna go. And if you lie with me under the sycamore tree, whether we're high or low, nowhere else I wanna go. So walk with me, walk with me.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's City of Cedar Falls Committee of the Whole meeting for Monday, February 2nd. I will call this meeting to order. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Schultz. Latta.
Here.
Nagel.
Here.
Hawbaker.
Here.
Fairbanks.
I'm here.
Chrisman.
Here.
Dunn.
Here.
Councilmember Schultz absent, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And that takes us to item number 1, update from Community Main Street with Kim Bear. Thank you, Kim.
Thanks for the opportunity to present today. I'm excited to just give an overall update of what's happening with Community Main Street and what we have going on. I'm going to provide some context for those folks watching at home or people in the room who don't know about Community Main Street. If I Perfect. So our mission at Community Main Street, Cedar Falls Community Main Street is a volunteer-driven nonprofit organization established to foster economic vitality and to preserve and promote the historic image and character of the downtown while improving the quality of life in Cedar Falls. You get extra points if you can do it in one breath. Recently, we worked with the Institute of Decision Making at UNI to update our strategic plan, and with that came an update to our vision. So by 2030, Community Main Street will drive a thriving and welcoming downtown. Downtown Cedar Falls built on a strong businesses, vibrant events, and active public spaces, embracing our history, nationally recognized arts and culture, entrepreneurship, and innovation. We will connect residents, visitors, and partners to make downtown the region's premier destination. Again, one full breath. And you'll also see that as we talk about some of our goals for the future and what will be happening with our strategic plan as well. This is our lovely flow chart for our program. So we are an accredited Main Street program through Main Street Iowa and Main Street America. We just recently received our scores back from our Main Street America accreditation visit that happened in September, and we scored very well. We will be accredited again. Not that that was a question or a concern necessarily, but until you get the scores back, you kind of just want to know for sure. So that is a nice relief for us, and we have been transforming downtown through Main Street's 4-point approach for 39 years. We work in the areas of preservation of our physical environment as well as human resources. As you can see here, there's our very own flowchart that shows you how we function, and our 4-point approach is outlined in the bottom. Our board of directors, our exec team, myself, and then Bryn Vanderbeek is the events and marketing coordinator. You will also note that there's an additional position that doesn't yet exist at CMS, but will be coming soon, and is a portion of our strategic plan and goals moving forward, having that business and community development coordinator. Our 4-point approach is working with the committees. Each committee represents a part of who CMS is and how we function. Organization is spearheading the volunteer recruitment strategies as well as our fundraising events. Our promotions committee does just that in discussing what is going on and how we can do new and different things to promote the downtown district through marketing and events. Economic vitality is always talking about the economic health of downtown and what things we can be doing to support this business district. This is where we'll see the most growth through our strategic plan, and last but not least, design, where the aesthetic of downtown is discussed and preserving the historic character of downtown is of its utmost importance. By contract with the state of Iowa and the city of Cedar Falls, our program of work is focused on these boundaries. So we're 29 square blocks, north and east side up to the Cedar River, west up to Franklin, and south through the 600 block. But who is CMS? Let me tell you. Like I mentioned, we are an accredited Main Street program and have been since 1987. We won the Great American Main Street Award in 2002, which I'm super grateful that already happened prior to me being there because it appears to be really a lot harder to get these days. We were designated as a historical district in 2017, which was a great effort through many stakeholders in Cedar Falls. And the value of volunteers through our program is $4.5 million in donated time. That number comes from the 129,854 hours that have been donated to our program since its inception in 1987. So the value of a volunteer hour is $34.79, and that's where that $4.5 million amount comes from. So over the course of our program, we have seen $159 million in private investment and 1,050 new jobs created, as well as 1,001 building projects. We are required to track many different stats for our district, and actually it's one of my favorite parts because we get to see the growth and we get to see all the time donated, and we get to go back through the calendar and kind of assess like who's doing what and where, and then we have to think about who is doing what and where and making sure we're giving those people kudos when they should get it as well. So wins for us over the last 5 years, we've seen significant improvements in some of the areas. And the first and the prettiest, is the streetscape improvements through the Streetscape Project and the Details of the District campaign, a partnership with the city, CFU, and CMS. I'd like to point out the visual for me, we were talking about in the office actually, is how cool the sidewalk is next to George's and how much different that looks with burying all the utility work. The sidewalk looks much safer. I think that just shows that for people who are like, oh, it looks fine downtown, like, it looks great now. It looks wonderful. So I think that's visually just to see the difference is awesome, and it connects Main Street to those outlying streets that aren't considered part of the core but now look more like it. This year also, Community Main Street decided to contract for the snow removal and salt application on all the updated streetscape areas to provide consistency and safety of those areas. It all is removed in a timely and cohesive way, which has been great. We also really weren't counting on the first snowstorm to be 14 inches of snow, so we'll have to budget differently next year. We may have blown through the first 2 years of the budget with the first snowfall, but don't tell Dan Lynch, the treasurer. Through the upgrade of the streetscape, we also updated our flower pots. These are mostly planted by downtown resident Julie Shimmick. I will help her, but she has to tell me what to put in where. So she does almost all of them herself, and then they're maintained by our flower brigade throughout the summer. These particular flower pots have a reservoir in them to feed the pots and to feed the bottom of the plant, but the waters give them a drink to the top every other day throughout the summer. Fun fact, the cannas, I think that's a canna, it could be a banana plant, I'm not quite sure, are grown and they spend their winters in one of our waterers' small greenhouse, so then they're replanted. So we're also, I don't know if you call that recycling or not, but we're kind of recycling. And speaking of recycling, our old flower pots are also now live in the North Cedar neighborhood. So if you're driving out there, they also look very pretty. The Gateway River Park. It's so fun to see this come to fruition, and the ability to see the river as an asset for our community is a wonderful step forward. I think seeing it activated during RAGBRAI and all the super smelly, hot people in the river, I think was a great way to show how it can be used and how people should use it. I've been talking to Chase about the new arch. We plan to nominate this for a Main Street Iowa Placemaking Award. It's a wonderful gateway entrance to downtown, signifying you are home, and we love this addition to the south boundary of the district. It's kind of the cherry on top of the streetscape project. I also appreciate that my brother's and my family's business is in almost every picture because their sign is right there. So that is also appropriate and makes me happy. We love to see art in the community and stuff and art that we can engage with, and we're happy to be a part of the newest mural at 412 Main Street. Our promotions committee identified this area as one for upgrade prior to hosting RAGBRAI this summer, and we couldn't be happier with how it turned out. Stephanie Fever, a local artist who also did one of the Panthers in the Panther Project, created the vision behind this. And I would encourage you to take a look at all the detail that she incorporated. Every piece of Cedar Falls is represented within the mural, and it's a great celebration of all things Cedar Falls, from the campanile to the dome to the new Cedar Falls logo. She did an awesome job. A few years ago, we updated our website. It's user-friendly to kind of decide what you're looking for. If you want a burger or a taco, you can search it out that way. So I would encourage you to test it, and if you can't find what you're looking for, let us know, and we'll add that keyword. We partnered with tourism on new photo content. After COVID, we came to the realization that we needed new photos. A lot of our photos were not only tired, they didn't include the new streetscape, they didn't include some new signage, new businesses. They certainly didn't include the plaza being activated. So through that, it's been awesome to have new photos. Elliot Tenson has been our photographer for the most part for that. And it's been awesome just to go to we don't have to search through the archives anymore. They're very well organized and they're very pretty and they all have the same vibe to them. You'll also see a lot of those photos in the most recent visitor guide that tourism did as well. So that's been awesome. We have added 2 new grant opportunities to our offerings to business and property owners. The Economic Vitality Committee created the District Enhancement Grant. This program seeks to encourage private investment in downtown through the financial support of Community Main Street. Projects are encouraged to stimulate and support business expansion and retention and enhance placemaking through art and capital improvements. Projects that have been supported by this fund so far include, but are not limited to, just in case I forgot one, Grid Lounge, Patton's, the Nook Reader's Cup expansion, Sarah's Crafted Coffee and Cocktails, the Historical Society, and Bike Tech. The promotion committee created the Magic Grant. As you can see, it's Marketing Assistance Grant for Inspiring Commerce. Thank you, Lauren Renshie, for coming up with that. The Magic Grant focuses on funding marketing initiatives that attract more visitors and stimulate economic growth within the Cedar Falls downtown area. Eligible applicants must submit a comprehensive marketing plan outlining their proposed initiatives. One specific project that was supported by this is a group of 9 retailers who put together a commercial campaign for the holiday season in 2024. And they played off of each other. The end was all pulled together about supporting local. And that's kind of what we want to do with that project or that grant. Both of these grant opportunities are matching grants, meaning that the applicants have to invest alongside the grant to support their project. We do hope that more stakeholders take advantage of these opportunities as they can take a look at the guidelines in our it's on our website under resources. I think the other part of that is when we are applying for larger grants through the state, this is a matching opportunity from a local match, which is typically a question, and we want to make sure that we could contribute in that way. Another great partnership with tourism is our Placer AI subscription. And also, isn't this photo great? Not only does it show the fireworks, it's not showing the snow, but I'm pretty sure it started snowing by now. It also shows the Christmas Carol. I just love it. So that's why I used it. Anyway, I digress. Tourism is having a Placer AI subscription that we can share and access to the data it can provide. Placer pulls data from as far back as 2017. So we can look at our events from then until now. I did ask Placer for their elevator pitch on how it works, because I think that's always the first question when we supply numbers. Like, that's creepy. Where do the numbers come from? How can they get those? So I'm going to read exactly what they said because I think it's important. Placer aggregates anonymized location data from millions of mobile devices through partnerships with apps that users have already opted into location sharing. We work with a diverse ecosystem of mobile applications, everything from weather apps to navigation tools, where users have explicitly consented to share their location data. The key points are privacy first. All data is anonymized and aggregated. We never see individual identities. Opt-in only. Data comes from users who have already chosen to share their locations. And real visits. We track actual foot traffic, not just online behavior or surveys. And no one under the age of 18 is tracked. So they can kind of, I asked that because obviously a lot of our events are family friendly, and we kind of want to know what that, and then it goes back to census data. Well, if they're coming from this household, then there is that many people in the household. So while it's not 100% accurate, it's still interesting to look at, which is fun to look at for our events and things that I'll talk about here moving forward. We obviously had a big summer, which we've kind of talked about, and for those of you who have seen my biannual report, you would have noticed that as well. We played host to the 49th annual Sturgis Falls on Main Street, as well as RAGBRAI, because we have access to the Placer data, we can share that Sturgis brought just about 40,000 people downtown over the course of the weekend, and RAGBRAI was just over 28,000. We can geofence and take a look at our area and how long folks dwell in downtown and what direction they come from and what direction they go to. Fun fact, a lot of people go to McDonald's when they leave downtown. I mean, they're hungry, I don't know. But that is, you can see it as much as that. When I pull data, I typically do a geofence around the actual footprint of our event, not necessarily our whole footprint of downtown, just to see as people move in and out of those areas. RAGBRAI zip codes data was super interesting because, as you know, that ride has all 50 states and 20 different countries, and you could see that in the data. You could see all of those zip codes, which was awesome, because when we have events, it's like Cedar Falls, Waterloo, all of them, and then some Cedar Rapids, some Iowa City, but we never pull from like the Netherlands, so, which maybe someday. Never want to forget what we're known for, and First and foremost, our gift certificate program. My kids make fun of me because I call them gift certificates and not gift cards, but ours are gift certificates and not gift cards. So it is kind of an old school program, obviously, since it's a gift certificate and it's a piece of paper essentially. But it works for us. As you can see in FY25, we reimburse businesses $96,000. So all of the fees for this program come out of our budget. So we're doing all the administrative work and all of the printing and all of that. So I think that's what makes it so special is that, January, Bryn and I have been very busy writing checks for people reimbursing large stacks of gift certificates that were used over the holidays or right after the holidays. We can have people who come in and looking for a check for anywhere from $5 to $5,000. It just depends on how long they keep them in their drawer. Most people do not bring them in until their drawer is overflowing. So we really appreciate it. It's also been used locally for holiday gifts. We had a local company this year who spent, over $36,000 on their Christmas gifts, giving to their employees. So it's a great opportunity to support local. That money goes right back into the local economy. All of our banks and financial institutions downtown sell the gift certificates, so you don't always have to come to your office, but if you want to see Bryn and I, you have to. And then the tourism office out on Hudson Road, as well as the Black Hawk Hotel, also sell them. So if anybody up here needs a Valentine's Day present, that is a perfect opportunity to go buy a gift certificate. This year we celebrated year 17 of Holiday Hoopla, with Santa arriving in a giant Jack-in-the-Box. He did not get set on fire, although some of the pictures would indicate otherwise. Those were just flame shooters and a smoke machine, so gave the illusion of that. This event truly takes an all-hands-on-deck approach with our amazing, affectionately called Who Herd, who is a wonderful group of humans that it takes all of them to pull it off. While it's never perfect, it's near it. Big thanks to the city for help with this event as well, from our friends at Wastewater to Public Safety, Public Works, and of course, Channel 15. Looking at the data for Hoopla, over the course of the last several years, we have an average of over 9,000 people in the downtown district for Santa's arrival. The fun part is the fun part, because if you're a data nerd, then you'd be like, yes, that's super fun. You can also look at the weather that correlates with that year to know if the attendance is up or down due to that. So 2 years ago, Denny will attest to this, it was below zero. We did consider not having the stage show, and there was still 7,200 people downtown that day. So I think it's fun to, it makes it, not that it's always not worth it, because the magic is always there, but to see that the people are coming, I think is great. Artapalooza, don't tell anyone else, but this is my favorite event. The other events get mad sometimes, but this is year 20 for this event. We did skip 2020 for Artapalooza. It did not make sense for this event. It continues to bring large crowds. In 2022, there is a 96% chance of rain on Saturday after Labor Day, and we called every artist and asked if they would be okay with moving it to Sunday. And everyone but one said yes. And the one that said no said, but go ahead and do it anyway, we're just going on vacation. So we moved it, and we always competed. If any of you know, the Saturday after Labor Day means that's the Iowa State game. So we always hoped for a late day kickoff so people could come down for a little bit at least before and enjoying the game. We don't have that anymore with it being on a Sunday. It just feels slower paced. People go to church or come down for coffee and breakfast, and then they kind of walk around. So we have not seen a dip in attendance due to the date change. And after surveying the artists, they actually like it better on Sunday. So we will keep it. And this year we hope to do some fun things with year 20. So the District Street Party is an award-winning event receiving the Main Street Iowa Best Special Event Award in 2024. It has been fun to see this event grow and set the stage for being able to host other larger events in downtown with the support of the business community and the volunteers and the city. This is an event where we dump 115 tons of sand on the street, and the next morning it looks like nothing happened. Thanks, Brian Heath. for not saying no when we asked if it was okay. We truly couldn't do this downtown without the support of the city, public safety, public works, and our friends in licensing too, because we have lots of questions about how that works. So it's very important. For year 4, we will be moving our date. So save the date for August 29th. While it's several weeks earlier, there is a reason. I know most people don't cross-reference calendars quite as much as we do, and we started talking about this in October, but Iowa and UNI play on September 19th, which would be our date. So to be good community partners, and I also just learned that it is Cedar Falls homecoming that day again, we are moving it to August 29th. We hope to not have any conflicts, and we will still be able to do all the fun things that we have been doing for this will be year 4. So we already started planning, and we will do something new and fun this year, and can't wait for it to be here and be over. Okay, our flowers is one of our best attributes in the summer months, and our most frequent question for phone calls is either, I just found this gift certificate and it says it expires, or what kind of fertilizer do you use on your wave petunias because they always look so great? So in case anybody wants to grab a pencil, it is Jack's Professional Water Soluble Fertilizer, and it's in a bluish bag. White bag, blue lining. These are well taken care of by our flower brigade. We've had the same nursery plant them. She plants them in her greenhouse, and then they sit there and grow roots before she delivers them, and then we hang them. So these are one of my favorite things to look and to take care of, and to see other people take care of them is also great. So don't forget to get your Jack's Professional Water Soluble Fertilizer. Our retail events, which typically involve anywhere from 20 to 30 businesses participating, the purpose of these events is to have their registers ring. These are for shoppers. Speaking of which, Bren would love if you guys would join us downtown on Saturday for Downtown Delights. It's from 11 to 4. Grab a friend and come enjoy a walk around downtown. Also, it's Restaurant Week, which we hope you also come to, because there's some yummy treats Bryn is posting about from all the restaurants that are participating in that event as well. So there's always something happening, even if it's winter. And my personal favorite part of Community Main Street is our people. So this is just a small sampling of the people that make our world go round, whether they are board members or a family of volunteers, or people who are willing to wear costumes, water flowers, make us food during events. These are truly what makes Community Main Street what it is today. The picture in the middle, which I'm sure Danny will bring up that he is in, I only used it because Debbie Durham from Iowa Economic Development Authority was here on a visit, not because Danny's in it. Don't let him.
I didn't sign the waiver.
Yes, I'm sure you did at some point. So our goals for the future. As I mentioned before, we just recently went through our strategic planning process, and while we are still working to melt it with all the things that we already do, we are excited to expand our offerings and our staff, so stay tuned for what that looks like. I realize this graphic is blurry. It was not really meant to read through it so much as it was to show you the summary of what our strategic plan entails. When we started the strategic planning process, we truly asked the question of who we will be when we grow up. Focusing on business support and retention, expand our volunteer reach. We have amazing volunteers. Some of them, this is their retirement from their retirement, and they should be able to retire from that as well. And we want to backfill with some really great humans. So we're always looking for good volunteers. We want to become a true destination. If you know people that want to go on a day trip or spend the night, we want Cedar Falls to be on that list. I recently visited a place near here that people like to go to, and I think Cedar Falls is way better. So people should come here. We also renew SMID this year, so we will be back in front of you later this year with that process. That is obviously our top priority for 2026. And we want to continue to be true to our mission, which we obviously talked about earlier, but that is who we are as a volunteer-driven organization to preserve and promote downtown, and we want to continue to be true to that. I am a huge advocate for CAPS, as I know some of you in this room are. I love working with them on various projects. One of them that has been floating around in my photo library on my phone for years is pretty electrical boxes, because I am a nerd. Anywhere we have traveled, and I take pictures of the boxes. So I have archives of these. These are actually from my phone. This is Rapid City, South Dakota. And so last semester, I worked with a group of associates through CAPS to make this come to life. And they did all the additional research. They made the connections. They asked more questions. And we've met with the general manager of CFU, Susan Abernathy, and all of her directors to get a yes for the project. We will be continuing this work. Aspen, who is a CAPS associate last semester, is doing CAPS 2, and she will technically be an intern for Community Main Street, and we'll be continuing this work. So the goal is to see this project come to life and have one of these electrical boxes decorated before she graduates. So fingers crossed for that. CAPS is looking for projects like this. This was not 1 or 2 on my list by any means, but it was 7, 8, 9. Like, that's where they live, in that realm. I would have never taken the time to do the research that they did, but I think it's going to be awesome when it comes to fruition and you can see these. Now, we don't want people to interact with them, obviously, because they're electrical boxes, but we want them to be pretty and encourage people to, I don't know, maybe park somewhere else because they can look at this box. And I know Aspen has a meeting with the city later this month, so we'll continue those discussions and give updates when that happens. Okay, fine.
Parking, yes.
Did we really think that we'd go through an entire presentation about downtown without talking about parking? No. However, I wanted to be positive. So, obviously, we're super excited about the new, improved, expanded parking lot. Chase, I stole this from the presentation about the parking lot. So this is a rendering that was in the CIP, I think, maybe. So it'll look pretty like this. Obviously, the buildings behind it are not white. So it's just a picture, people. We don't need to get too serious about it, but it'll be great, and it'll be well used. And we'll continue the parking communication with stakeholders, help facilitate more parking conversations with employees, because that is one of our biggest issues, is employees parking in customer spots. Obviously downtown, through the updated streetscape and various things, we are very safe and we are very walkable. So we want to continue to have those conversations and continue to talk about parking until the end of time. Okay. What we are proud of: events, new and old, volunteers, also new and old. We love all of them. Our gift certificate program and our growth. I think our stakeholders believe in this place that has been created over the last 4 decades. I know I certainly do, and I look forward to see where it goes into the future. And don't forget to follow us on socials. Bryn has done a great job adding us to the TikTok world, of which I do not understand. And you can always find our events on Facebook and our shared content on Instagram. Again, these numbers for our following has grown exponentially with Bryn being behind the wheel. It helps to have somebody who's 26 and knows what she's doing. So, and last but not least, this is Buddy waving goodbye, as I will be too, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you, Kim. And I will open it up to questions, comments, conversation.
Kelly moved her microphone away from her face, so she's not asking anything.
Kim, I know I've known you for a while with Community Main Street stuff. I just want to say thank you. You've always done a great job, the volunteers, but you do pull it all together and get us all lined up when it's time to do stuff. So thank you for your efforts in leading the charge for Community Main Street.
Thank you. Thank you for always carrying really heavy letters.
Not a problem.
All right, seeing none.
Jeez.
I'm guessing we all would like to say thank you. So that's probably easily, I think, across the board. Not that I'll speak for everybody, but I'll speak for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys do amazing work, and downtown wouldn't be what it is without you guys.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
You know, Kim, if you're going to use a picture of the mayor, you had many opportunities this summer of him on stage welcoming people.
Also
That might have
true.
been a missed opportunity.
I actually think I have some good ones too of him on stage.
I believe that.
Various
See,
stages.
she intentionally did not use good ones.
That's good. Excellent presentation, and
Thank
thank you
you,
so much
Chris.
for all the work you guys do putting on.
I will
everything you
add
do
that
downtown.
picture to the presentation though.
As you should.
Yes, perfect. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, guys. All right, and if nothing else from everyone up here, that's all we got. So I will call this meeting adjourned, and we will be back here at 7 o'clock for our regularly scheduled city council meeting. Thank you, everyone.